Hi, I'm Steve Taylor from Taylor Automotive. Hope you enjoy this behind-the-scenes view of our Taylor team as we take you inside the Taylor huddle.
Hi, Tom Cole, and welcome into the Taylor 3-Minute Thursday. Josh, it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time and
Absolutely.
appreciate everything you do for the Taylor Automotive family. We jump right into it, Josh. Tell us a little bit about your family.
So I am born here. I lived here for the first 9 years of my life, and then my mother was a traveler's nurse, so we picked up and moved to San Antonio. Did all my high school football, basketball playing days.
What'd you play in football?
I was actually, surprisingly enough, I was a wide receiver in a outside linebacker. Those were many pounds ago.
No, I can see you can play. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, so that's what I did as far as the sports world, and then I was in debate actually.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so and then right when I got out of the Army, I did some corrections, and then the rest of my family has always been in Ohio, so I just kind of felt that pull. You know, home is where the heart is, and my heart has always been in Ohio, so I found my way back here.
Thanks so much for your service too, by the way.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate that. I could plug you in at linebacker right now.
Right now, you know,
I'd put you in the middle, right? You're gonna be my middle backer.
That's right. We're gonna go right there.
We're gonna fill the ISO hole on
Tip
both
of the spear,
sides.
baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna punch through.
We're gonna take on the blocker,
That's right.
outside arm, and
That's
we're
right.
gonna okay.
Swim over. Let's do it.
You got all the techniques.
You know what I mean?
You're good to go. Josh, tell us, your job at Taylor.
Yeah, so I am one of the service advisors at Taylor Kia in Toledo, and I've been with the company for almost 5 years now, and I absolutely love what I do. Some of the things that you kind of encounter with customers, a lot of times customers are just trying to go on their daily life, and although I see 30 to 40 customers a day, they only see one of me.
Sure.
So sometimes not many people read their owner's manual. So a lot of times, you have to walk them through, and they get frustrated, because your life changes when you try to get in your car and it doesn't start, because you're depending on that. And
yes.
So I feel like one of the best things I can do is help people stay in a safe and dependable car. And, that's what I love to do. So, it's a blast. I mean, there are some difficult days for sure, but some of the most difficult days can be some of the most progressive days because you can really push through that. So
I was telling another gentleman that we were interviewing just not that long ago, and you tell a lot about a person by the intonation of their voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's called voice integrity, and I only know that because I was in broadcasting. I wouldn't have known it otherwise. But,
Sure.
But your voice indicates that you'd be a gentleman that would have a lot of patience with customers. Is that true?
Definitely. Because some people are they're just frustrated, and sometimes they can't eloquate what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you kind of have to ask the probing questions.
Right.
And so you have to pose it a certain way, and then you kind of unlock that information. And sometimes a flippant detail to them can really change the diagnosis process to help us, figure out what the issue is and get them moving in a timely manner.
Yeah, that's very well said, Josh. I can see the debate part of you coming out too.
Yeah.
You can get it done.
Yes, sir.
Recreation and fun. Now I gotta take you here.
Okay.
I saw in your bio that Steve put together these great bios of all of you. I love those shows, the man versus food shows.
Yes.
I watch them. I don't care what channel it's on. I don't care
Yes.
what time it's on. I watch it, and then I like to watch the guy eat the thing the atomic burger that no one has ever eaten in the Northwestern Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it, because you've done some of these
Yes.
things.
So one of those days I was lucky enough, I had Netflix, and they released all the Man vs. Food.
Yeah.
And I started watching. I kind of started getting really into it. And I just love the taste of food. And some of those things were, I noticed he was going to places that were around me, and places that they're not national chains. They're like mom and pop, locally owned. And I realized he was doing these things, and I was interested, and I did one of the first ones I did was outside of Tennessee. It was the Big Ugly Burger. It's called Bubs, and one of the things, it's like a half-pound patty with a pound of fries and a pound of coleslaw.
And you got to eat the whole deal.
You gotta eat the
That's
whole
what
thing.
people don't realize.
Yeah, you gotta eat the whole
You might
thing.
get the burger down, but you got to get the other.
You gotta get the other stuff, and I kind of did it, and I was like, ooh. But afterwards, I was like, I took my picture and put it on the wall, and I kind of got that itch. And then so now I have a poster at home of all that. Shout out to Megan, one of my sister-in-law to be. I'm getting married this year, but
Congratulations.
thank you. She was super cool. She got me a poster of all the places that Manifest had been through, and now I'm just crossing.
You're doing one after another.
Yep. That's, whenever I'm going to a town, if I'm visiting, I will look up. I'll go, okay, it's been there. Okay, I'm gonna go try that. And sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes when I went to Georgia, Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffle, they actually closed down that spot, so I couldn't go there. But I was able to go to the Vortex Bar and Grill and have the cardiac arrest burger, which was super cool. So it's just sometimes I don't get to do it all the time, but it's just one of those passions.
I got to ask you, Josh, what's the hottest thing you've ever, food you've ever devoured?
I had what this stuff was called, the bomb.
Is this the one where they wear the gloves where they don't touch it?
Yes. So they put the gloves on, and
that's a sign right away that Josh says this might be slightly
if
warm.
that's not a red flag, I don't know what is.
They're wearing gloves.
So I actually bought the sauce, and it's called the bomb. It would come in a dropper. It had a sign a waiver saying you wouldn't hold them accountable, and I put 2 drops on a cucumber. And it was like pure, I think it was not habanero, correction. It was California Reaper and that ghost chili pepper.
Yeah, the ghost
It was
chili
like
pepper.
a hybrid, but it was just extract.
Yeah.
There was no flavor, and it was just pure pain.
How bad?
And I was instantly, every pore in my body was on fire, and I couldn't. My tongue was numb. I think about 30 minutes before I could actually think of other than pain. It was the worst experience of my life as far as when it comes to food stuff. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, Josh, what could be interesting is at your wedding, maybe you can go with some of the atomic burgers and.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to. That would be terrible for my guests because I would do that and then I would not tell them.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is a really good burger. Try this out.
Yeah, it's classic. Josh, on the way out, we were asking folks at Taylor about their dreams. You're already an accomplished guy at a young age, but what's the futuristic kind of dreams for you?
Yeah, so dreams and goals are kind of go hand in hand for me.
Yeah.
I think sometimes dreams are a little bit more long term, but I have several goals that would help me push them. So my end all goal / dream would be to eventually move up, obviously, in the Taylor Elmo group and just kind of take the next step of not only bettering myself, but obviously, if and when I do decide to leave the service department, I want to make sure I leave it in a better place than I found it. And then in order to do that, that would propel me to be able to, would like to obviously own a house and some land.
Yeah.
And then, me and my fiance, Andrea, I love you. She kind of put
You're a smart man, by the way.
Yes. She put in my head that she has an affinity for animals. We have 2 Shih Tzus at the house, and she said something to me one day, and she was like, I'd love to just have some land and kind of rescue dogs. And that kind of, I kind of had a soft spot for some little small, I call them ankle biters. They're so tiny and they kind of get in the way on your feet sometimes. But man, it was, so that was something that's something I want to do for sure. So that's kind of, I don't have an absolute manufactured game plan to get there, but I know that's the end all be all, to get some land and just rescue some animals and kind of live on the land, as they say.
Well, Josh, you're a very impressive young man. You will get there, but I'm going to leave you with one thought. When they serve the food to you from now on, and they're wearing gloves, asbestos gloves, because it's so hot, you got to be careful with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Josh, you were great. It was great chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
It's a pleasure.
That's going to do it for the Taylor 3-Minute Thursday.